Hey guys, been up here at Nootka Marine Adventures the past few days, hammering on salmon. It's been a phenomenal trip, but I'm going to talk about some of my top salmon setups for the summer, okay? And for me, it really has been the summer of spoons, SOS baby. We have a bunch of spoons we're going to go through, and as you can see, it's kind of a little chartreusey themed going on here. Huge hit for me this year has been the chartreuse colored flasher. You can see it's even mixed in here with that. But if you can see these spoons here that I've been using, now this would be in the herring aid, but as you can see, this spoon has been smashed multiple times. The paint is almost completely worn off, but I can't change it because it keeps catching fish, all right? And over here, a huge go-to for me this summer, especially up here at NMA, has been the gold nugget. And again, look at the paint on this thing. It's almost non-existent. I mean, teeth marks all over that. Then we move over to the skinny G right here, and we got the herring aid pattern, but this is a green herring aid. Typically, the original herring aid has got the kind of that blue color, bluish color to it. Well, obviously you can see here, this is the green pattern with the nickel back. And then anytime I find fishing on the West Coast, you know, a lot of places they have squid spawn. The go-to standby, maybe if you aren't getting fish on spoons, is the Hoochie, okay? So very simple setup. We'll talk about the Hoochie real quick. Now, typically when you are fishing Hoochies, you have a much shorter leader. You know, you got that flasher that's really whipping that Hoochie around. Now this is actually a longer leader for a Hoochie. This is probably about 4 feet. You know, a lot of times I'll shorten that up to about 3 feet here because basically a Hoochie doesn't give you any action at all in the water. That flasher is whipping and it's moving that Hoochie around on a shorter leader to give you that action. So typically when you fish a Hoochie, you're looking at about a 36-inch or a 3-foot leader. Okay, so that's been very successful for us this year. And then when you're fishing spoons, a lot of times it varies depending on, you know, boat speed, etc., and the length of your leader behind your flasher. The longer the leader, the slower that spoon is going to move. So I typically like to fish, you know, anywhere from like a 5 to 6 foot leader on spoons. You can see this one here is about 6 feet long, maybe 5.5 feet. Okay, give you a nice slow action behind that flasher, because a spoon, unlike the Hoochie, will still give you action in the water, and it doesn't have to be that tight to the flasher. It's relying 100% on the flasher to cause that movement. So again, here we're just looking at leader length on this gold nugget. Same thing here. Now this one is a bit of a longer leader, as you can tell, by about 12 to 18 inches. So sometimes you just need to play with your leader length, right? Don't be afraid to shorten it or lengthen it. You know, it's a quick change. I mean, or have multiple leaders tied up before you head out on the water. That's what I like to do. I don't like to tie my gear while I'm out on the water, right? I just want to clip in and get that tackle back in as fast as possible. And here's the 4 spoon. Again, a little bit shorter than my last setup, and kind of in between the first 2. So I have 3 different leader lengths on these 3 different spoons, and they've all been successful in catching fish. But if you want to get out on the water, give Nootka Marine Adventures a call. They've got 3 different resorts that can accommodate you, and you can get out on the water and catch some fish as well.